Welcome to the Sony ZV-1 Radio Network, where we talk all things news, views, and reviews. Today we're going to be talking about S-Cinetone and how you can achieve that look with the Sony ZV-1. For those of you who don't know, S-Cinetone is a picture profile that's in the A7S III, and it's basically a picture profile with a lot more dynamic range, with a lot less color correction in post-production, so you're getting the most out of your camera. A lot of people are disappointed because the new E-10 doesn't have S-Cinetone, and the ZV-1 doesn't have it either. But I've been messing around with some of the customization inside of the picture profiles, and I think I came up with a pretty good solution of how you can get very close to S-Cinetone with minimal color grading in post-production. I wasn't trying to figure this out so I could make a video about it. I actually had a pretty serious problem. Because I want to get the most out of my A7S III, I use S-Cinetone. But if I'm using a B camera, say like in an interview setting or even just to get some B-roll, and I'm using the ZV-1 or the A7 III, the colors just don't match up. One of the main reasons that I picked up the ZV-1 is so that it could be a B camera to my A7 III and my A7S III, also to be used as a backup camera. But once I start to use S-Cinetone on the A7S III, my other two cameras are rendered useless because the colors are that much different. So I had an option to either stop using S-Cinetone with the A7S III or figure out a way to make either the A7 III or the ZV-1 have a closer matchup when it comes to the colors. So that's when I started to do the investigating and the testing out, and for a small fee, I'll show you exactly how I was able to achieve S-Cinetone with the ZV-1. Don't worry, the fee doesn't cost any money. All you have to do is like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. Let's dive into the ZV-1. So if you don't know how to get to the picture profiles already, all you have to do is go to page 1, tab 9 of 12, and then you'll scroll down to picture profile. What I did is I went down to picture profile 10, and then I clicked to the right. The first thing that I did was change the black level to -12. Then I came down to Gamma and turned it to Cine2. Next I went to black Gamma and I changed the range to middle and the level to -5. After that I went to knee and made sure the mode was in manual. Then we go to color mode and change it to still. Then saturation, I'm going to leave it 0. Color phase is -2. For the color depth, I changed red to +2, green to +1, blue to -2, cyan to 0, magenta to +1, and Y to 0. Then I just went to the detail, made sure that the level was at -7, and that's what I did to get S-Cinetone. So now we're going to go outside and I'm going to put the ZV-1 on top of the A7S III, and then we're going to record some videos really keeping an eye on the greens, the blues, and the reds. And then I'm going to show you the little bit of color correction that I have to do in post-production in order to get the ZV-1 to have an S-Cinetone look. Now you can use whatever editing software you have as long as it has color wheels or color correction of some sort, because all you really need to do is bump up the saturation a little bit, and then you might need to increase the highlights or bring down the darks. And the way that I do this in Final Cut Pro is I'm going to put this clip shot on the ZV-1 on top of the A7S III. Then I'm going to crop over the clip so that you can see both clips together. On the left side, we have the A7S III footage, and on the right, we have the ZV-1 footage. Both of them were shot at 4K 24. Now with the ZV-1 clip selected, I'm going to go up to the color wheels and then just play with the highlights a bit. And I'm going to increase the saturation a little bit and play with the darks a little. And then you can see how close both of these are. And I'm going to do the same thing with this clip. I would not recommend making a preset in the color correction wheels because every clip is a little bit different depending on which colors you have and how it was exposed for. But every single clip just takes a little bit of correction, and there's not a lot of time lost anyways because when I shoot in Cine 2, I always have to do a little bit of correction. Cine 2 comes out a little bit flat, but that's okay because that gives us more room to grade in post. So now my problem is solved where I can actually shoot with the A7S III and then use my ZV-1 as a B-cam. In fact, I think I'm just going to shoot in this picture profile from here on out with the ZV-1 because I know how good of a picture comes out of it. So I hope this video helps you realize that you can go into your picture profiles and you can customize them however you want. In my case, S-Cinetone works the best, but if you have like a Canon or a Nikon, you can actually go into the ZV-1 and mess around with the picture profile until you come up with a color that looks similar to whatever your A-cam is. I know Sony has its own greenish yellowish look, but there's no reason you actually have to accept that. You can change your picture profiles to look however it is you want them to look. I'm Joe with Film Alliance, and until the next video on the ZV-1 Radio Network,